Welcome back to the Packers Corner. We are back at it, Schmitty, after a loss to the Chicago Bears in absolutely improbable fashion. Dad, I'm sure you were fit to be tied. We're going to break it down, give you our reactions. Was I just talking about the one seed? Did I do that to us? I guess we'll have to reevaluate all this, see if we can even make the playoffs on the other side of the intro here, guys.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
It was named after Vince Lombardi. You play in Green Bay. As important as it is to any other team, it means more to us.
When he walked into the meeting, he looked us right in the eye. He said, "Gentlemen, we're going to relentlessly chase perfection."
My first thought was, on any play with my arm strength, I may not let anybody know this, but my first thought was home run. On every play. On every play.
He did what? Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No!
Dad, what do you think your highest high in terms of regular season Packers moments would be for? Is it that play we show at the end of the clip there, Cardinals versus Vikings, to knock the Vikings out of the play? Is this Aaron Rodgers throwing a Hail Mary at the end of the Detroit game? Well, did the Favre to Freeman? He did what? Well, whatever the highest high was, I think this might have matched it for regular season low. I don't know. Is that where you're at?
Was there a game last week? Did we?
Well, apparently there's some highlights here.
I've forgotten all about it. You're not telling me that we played a game where Jacobs had to fumble inside the 5-yard line. Dobbs had to misfield the onside kick. Keyshawn Nixon blew coverage, and we couldn't take a pass from center. We had to do all that was that a game? No, I'm not. I don't even think that's a thing. I'm showing up today, and the boys. I'm saying, boys, here we are with 2 games to go in the season. And in April, if I would have told you with 2 games to go in the season, we have a puncher's chance to win the division. We'll be favored in the last 2 games, and the division leader will be the underdog in the last 2 games. You'd say, let's go. Let's do it. Let's go win 1 game and see where we are in a week. I'm ready. Forget about last week.
Well, I like the positivity, Schmitty. I'm thinking maybe you're going to have less of that, considering that you're one, you have a shirt on. That's never a good sign. And 2, it's a black shirt. Tell me about that.
I'm just getting ready. I haven't put the suit on yet, Griffey. When you see the suit and glasses come on, then you know. But this is the undergarment, and so I'm just getting ready, getting the attire all set to go. I got the nice suit coat at the dry cleaners right now, so I'm pressed and looking clean for the day we get to bury this Packers season, because I like it just like the 2014 NFC Championship game. I couldn't even tell you what happened most of that game, because I just refuse to watch any replay, any clip of that. I look the other way. I swipe on my phone. This is up there. I won't be able to tell you come a few years from now what happened in this game. It will not live in my memory. I cannot have it otherwise. I'm so feeble-minded, Griffin. Like the fact that once Jordan went down, I was building up my armor and the strength of like, all right, just another. This is how it's going to be. Bears win the game, not a problem. Then we have to go up and have Malik Willis show out against the Bears in Soldier Field, where we're winning by 2 scores, and I'm like, this is the greatest feeling ever that we're about to trounce the Bears here with Malik Willis. And I know he's won us some football games. And then we get just an absolute, 1%ers, plays that, go against us. And so I felt as dejected as I possibly could have. And so it does match the highs of the Freemans, the Miracle in Detroit. It's shame on me. shame on me for getting such a high feeling against the Bears on Saturday night.
Well, I juxtaposed the feeling with this game also with Schmitty when you were kind enough to lay out the town of Pittsburgh before me, and we trotted into Acrisure and did everything we could to get the boys a win in the post-game press conference. They had Tucker Kraft, Micah Parsons, and Jordan Love getting interviewed, and to see none of those guys out there, of course, as this game ended against the Bears, it kind of makes you think what could have been this season. But are you really close to pouring one out for the 2026 Packers here, or are you going to let us play a little football down the stretch and see what happens?
Okay. You know who we should be thanking and sending a nice Christmas card to? It's our friend, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, because that game, I don't know if you watched any of that game and that last play even, vintage Aaron, like getting outside. There's a clip where he told the running back to just run a seam route. The kid does, and they score. Like it without Aaron, we probably don't make the playoffs. And I said last week, as long as we get in the playoffs, like knowing, yeah, we did have Tucker Kraft, we did have all pro on both sides of the field, and now we don't. Like, as long as we limp into the playoffs, so be it. Because we just didn't get the right shakes this year as far as the injury bug goes. I always have to feel that we can win a football game in January, and we've done it before as a 7 seed. We're going to damn near get the 7 seed again, third straight year, mind you. Had they not implemented the 7 seed, we wouldn't even be in the playoffs the last 3 seasons. Think of that. Okay, so I'm going to get up for playoff football. You always have to, but the expectations, as you stated, like it is so much lower than what we had the middle of the season. Even at this whole season, aside, I mean, Tucker Kraft we wrote out, losing Micah just torpedoed what any aspiration we had for a championship run. So and I get that. I'm going to get up for the Packers going into Soldier Field in the playoffs and beating them. I am juiced for that because it's damn near a sure thing that's what's going to happen. So I'm not going to boo-hoo the season just yet, but I got the black shirt on, Griffey. And so if we go 0-2, if we lose on Saturday night, you're going to hear some shakiness in my voice because I'm worried. I'm worried.
Well, fair enough. I think worry is merited, but seems like my father's got the optimistic shades on this evening. Talk to me a little bit about the what you saw from the quarterbacks out there, though, Dad. We of course, I've been maybe pessimistic about Malik Willis and kind of keep thinking it's been a mirage in all these games he's played so well that we've seen. I just have to give the man his due. He's been great. I'm a little nervous we might see him in purple next year. There's maybe a talker. But Caleb Williams, on the other hand, we saw both versions. We saw the Caleb Williams that I'm hoping for, which is not very impressive, completing 45% of his passes for most of the game. And then we saw him absolutely put on the cape and end things, too. So talk to me what you saw from the guys under center there, Dad.
Well, I think Malik Willis is Caleb Williams, except a little bit better. He's got the feet, he's got the arm, he clearly has the command. Level-headed guy. What do you say about a guy who separates his shoulder and then continues to put dimes in there? And if, I don't know, Romeo Dobbs with the Guardian cap, we were talking to Uncle Greg, what's he doing out there if he's, dinged up and worried about getting hit? And then
I told the guys in the group chat.
McKinney flat out misses his block.
Yeah.
To protect him. And I got a problem with Xavier McKinney. Catch the ball, protect your teammate, make a play. Here's the good news. Could you imagine a game that unsuspecting and that far-fetched that would end your season one game before the Super Bowl? Is that the 2014 game, Schmitty, you're referring to? This wasn't a playoff game. We
get to play again. Yeah.
We get to play again. And, here's my speech to the boys. Who would you rather play in the playoffs in the entire NFC than this farce, this fallacious, this inflated, this nonsense of a playoff team called the Chicago Bears. Bring them on any day of the week. They're the Vikings of last year. Vikings were 9-1 in one possession games. The Bears are 7-1 in one possession games. We are a pitiful 3-5-1 in one possession games. If we had the Bears record, we'd be the number one seed. It's luck. You cannot say anything but they're lucky sapsuckers, and their luck is about to run out, and bring them on. And then the good news is after that, if we somehow don't win the North, when we win I just do this for me. Schmitty, I'm with you. Beat Baltimore. We know the Bears can't beat the Niners. What's it going to look like in a week? I just relish what it's going to look like at the end of the weekend. Let's see where we are then. And then my speech to the boys is, you know what? Tucker Kraft isn't walking through that door. Micah Parsons isn't walking through that door. Devontae Wyatt isn't walking through that door. And Elton Jenkins isn't walking through that door. But you know what? Next year, when we defend our Super Bowl championship, we get all those guys back to run it back again. Bring it
there
on.
We go.
2 in a row.
Well, Schmitty, would you maybe have a bone to pick with the idea that the Bears can't beat the Niners next week?
Yes, I would. I mean, I know that their pitiful performance to start the half against us and not really scoring in. And it's Caleb, the Iceman, as they're calling him in the midway. The Iceman, it's proven. It's statistically proven. This guy gets hot at the right time and leads them on game-winning drives. Next week, it's like a 3-point game. The Bears are underdogs. Okay, they relish in that fact too. All right, they feel disrespected as the second seed in the NFC right now. They're going to have a lot of juice going to San Fran. San Fran's a hell of a ball club. They looked really good against the Colts last night, and so I agree with Gar that I personally like the Niners to take on the Bears and come up with the victory in that game. But if you think the Bears are going to lay over, they really haven't. We just talked about their one-score games because they play everyone fairly tough. Okay, so I want to say that the Niners come out with it, but it would not be a surprise, especially with the recipe with when the Bears look dominant. If you recall the Black Friday game when they absolutely gashed the Eagles, I mean, the Bears have that in them. They've shown it at times, and if they get that aspect of the game, they don't really need Caleb Williams to be that effective for 3 quarters. And so the Bears have a recipe to get victories. I don't think their defense is all that. They'll probably be one of the worst rated defenses going into the playoffs. But by some miracle, they've been able to show out when it matters most, and they get these individual single score games. Okay, they win those, and they win them well. They do it at a high clip, just like the Vikings did last year. It's a coin flip for me because that's all it's been all season for them. So I'm not counting them out. Certainly not doing that.
Well, I for one like Mr. Irrelevant over the Iceman there. That'll be my pick for what it's worth. My picks haven't been all that stellar this year, but I'll give me Mr. Irrelevant for this week and Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Dad, as we looking back at our quarterback situation, you mentioned Malik Willis battling through the shoulder. Certainly impressive stuff, but him dealing with that situation, Jordan Love dealing with the concussion protocol, that's a little bit trickier to navigate in this day and age. Who do you think is going to be lining up for us under center this week?
J Love, 98%. He'll be there. He's not sitting this one out. The coach already insinuated he's doing better. I would be very surprised if Jordan Love isn't suited up. And all I can say about the Bears is they can't do it with magic wands, pixie dust, and fortuitous bounces of the pigskin forever. You can't win on a suicide squeeze play 7 or 8 or 9 games in a row. You can't run the fumble Rooski every other game and win. At some point, the luck dries up, just like it did for the Vikings last year when they got smacked in the nose in the playoff game, and I think it's going to happen. 2 games short of the end of the regular season for the Bears, and we'll just see how it all plays out. But I remain highly optimistic about how things are going to look at the end of the weekend.
On the other team, looking, to who we play this week, Schmitty and the Baltimore Ravens, not officially eliminated from playoff contention with Mr. Rogers' performance there for us last week, but they're on the ropes. They have a quarterback that looks like he might not be able to make it. What are the latest you're hearing on his prospects for playing against us?
Yeah, so the line is 2.5. We are 2.5 point favorites. So that can only mean two of one thing. One, you have Huntley. You have a matchup with Huntley and Willis, or you have a matchup with Mr. Lamar and J Love. That's the only thing. Otherwise, it would be we would be underdogs if it was going to be Willis versus Lamar.
You think it was Malik versus Lamar? You think we would be dogs?
Yeah, because we it was one. We were 1.5 point underdogs. 2 days ago, and it flipped like that. So a 4 point flip, like there, you kind of look at
that tells you something.
Yeah. So Vegas knows what's up. So I would be mystified if Jordan Love isn't playing for us Saturday night, and it's probably Lamar. Otherwise, I would think we would be like 5.5 point favorites if it was Snoop Huntley. So I'm expecting the two big dogs to play. You got the Ravens on they're on their heels. They got to come up with two victories, much like the Lions do. Otherwise, if they lose, I think it's an elimination game. So we can be repaying Mr. Rogers tenfold if we come up with a victory Saturday night.
We're working together on this back half of the season, aren't we?
Think about that. Amazing that if we are to win Saturday night, I think the Steelers, that like their seed is pretty much locked in. I don't know how much variability. They got two bye weeks, and we know that we're getting the 7 seed damn near if the Bears win on Sunday, right? So if we know that, then we get a bye week. So you can twist.
Yeah, I mean you can spin it.
I know Gar wants us to go 2-0 and the Bears to go 0-2. That would be great if we get to host a playoff game. We haven't done it in a few years, but just if you want to look at it some weird way that we optimistically, okay, I'm being optimistic Gar here, that we could potentially get a bye week for a team. Let's face it, guys, we are decimated. And so if we can get our guys healthy and lay an egg here in Minnesota, so be it, if that means that we're gearing up to go down to Chicago for a victory.
Well, I think you could spin that positive pretty easily, Schmitty. If we win, Bears win, great. We get a bye week, as you said, and we get to go down a little trip south down to the tropics of Chicago for the boys in a couple weeks. I think that we could go take care of those guys, just like you said, Dad. So I don't think that's a bad thing. Is it that much of an advantage to play the Bears at home?
49ers, book it, mark it in big black letters. It ain't gonna happen. The Bears put a fork in them this week. They're done. The Bears are who we thought they were. If you want to crown their ass, crown them.
Wouldn't it be delicious, though, if we win, the Bears lose Sunday, and then you have Dan Campbell. Who knows, even if they are out of it, that they are they're coming for your head. So
delicious.
Just like they kicked us out.
Delicious.
It could be very I'm here for it, baby. If it happens, Gar, please feed
next
it to
Tuesday.
Me.
Back to the kneecap biting Lions, perhaps. That would be kind of an interesting one. What about the other way that this could go, Dad? What if we don't get it done against the Ravens and we back our way into the playoffs because of a Detroit loss?
What are you doing to me?
Well, are you going to be wearing black next week if that's the case?
These checkers are not going to be checkers if that happens. This will be all black like Schmitty over there.
Hey, you know what? Maybe the Vikings could give us a little Christmas present and end up beating the Lions. Okay.
No, you know what? If we
would have a 2-week bye, a 2-week bye. Send the guys to Cancun and back.
If we can't win this game against Baltimore, Katie bar the door.
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but we got to build some momentum going forward here. It's time. We should have won the last 2 games.
Do you not have any hope for our boy Brosmer anymore, Dad? It wasn't exactly a spectacular showing the first time out when he got the starting opportunity.
I'm all for Max when it doesn't hurt the Packers.
All right.
Max, you're my man. You go right ahead, but not when the Packers are involved. We'll just have to let you wait a week or two till next year.
Well, I think we should talk a little bit about this matchup with the Ravens, give our thoughts on how we think this is going to go. Schmitty, you mentioned that we're the favorites as far as the folks over in Vegas are concerned. We're the favorites as far as you're concerned.
Yes. We are the favorites as I am concerned. Yes. The only is Bisaccia, is he going to be part of our coaching staff Saturday night? That would be the only thing. You know what? We win a Super Bowl if we don't have Rich Bisaccia on our roster come Saturday night.
You mean the guy with the pillow on his helmet isn't very tough back there on the onside? I think we can.
Receivers, and you being one of them. No, something bad happens. You miss a catch. You fall to the ground. You wait about 5 seconds to get up because you want the team and the viewers to think that it was something nefarious that went on. That's the reason why you couldn't catch the ball. Same with it. He's done it more than once. Okay, he doesn't have a killer instinct about him. He's not. He just doesn't have that, and it's evident by that big, stupid, goofy thing he wears on his head. Okay, I don't think it's all Rich, certainly, but there's something to be said about all the woes that we've had throughout the course of the season. I think the stats out there, we would be in the years. In this season alone, I think we are 12-2 if we didn't have – I think there's 3 special teams plays that cost us victories, and that's all thanks to Rich. And so the fact that Matt can't move on from this guy, I don't know what he knows about Matt, dirty laundry that he knows that Matt can't move on from this guy. You're telling me that Mo Drayton isn't better than this dummy? This is crazy that we've had this many – special teams issues throughout the course of Matt's tenure that he can't find the right guy. And so if we have another performance like we did against the Bears, we can lose to the Ravens. And I'm fully expecting that we do have a hiccup. And if we do, then it just gives us more ammo for next Tuesday's show to be like, why is Rich still on the damn team? Okay. So Griffey, the Ravens. It's coming to an end, my friend. It's all over. We're talking about us getting to the playoffs as a 7 seed for the 3rd time. You know what? I want our hearts ripped out because I want some organizational change over there in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm sick, Griffey. I'm sick. Even though I know we've lost some guys, but the fact that we're gonna choke this all away. You know what? I'm ready. That's what I want. I want us to be in the deep depths of the water with the fishies, Grippy. I'm tired of this. I'm tired. Okay? I just want to be done. I want to be done with the year. And I almost was once Jordan got hurt, got the concussion. But somehow Matt finds a way with Malik Willis. He's able to call a better game with Malik. It's crazy to me. I just want it all to be done. I want to play with my toys, my Jordan Love toy and my Micah Parsons figurine with a new head coach and see what happens. I'm kind of just over with this regime. And so if we go 0-2 and we miss the playoffs, guess what? I get my wish. I'm going to take my shirt off and start swinging it around like a terrible towel. We lose, and we lose badly. I want it to be really bad. It makes us hurt and cry. 30-3.
What do you have to follow that up with, Dad, here?
Order the cement boots and put them on Schmitty. He wants to be down there with the fishies. We'll send him a little oxygen tank till we can ship the boots off. And then next week, when the Packers are in the playoffs and the Bears lost, he'll have that shirt off. He'll have 4 fingers. Now, this Ty Huntley is no slouch.
He's gotten us before, hasn't he?
He played against us 4 or 5 years ago and went right down to the wire. And he's no slouch of a quarterback. He's a lot like Malik Willis. We can play ball with Malik. I think Malik's injury might be worse than Love's, to be honest, that shoulder injury. And so I'm going to remain here. We have a home game with everything on the line. It's just like I said back in April. If you would have said, boys, You would have said, if you'd have looked at the schedule in April, you would have said that game against Baltimore is going to be highly significant to the North Division. You probably would have thought it would have been against Detroit, trying to duke it out with Detroit. Okay, the Bears have had their lucky year. God bless. And listen, I'm not saying they're not improved. They are improved, and they are going to be formidable in the future and a team to be dealt with. They have no defense to hold up against the 49ers. Good Lord, the Niners haven't punted since November 30th. That's going to be a bloodbath over there in San Francisco. So the question is whether we can get it done against Baltimore. And I just think that LaFleur has a pretty good track record after, some bad losses. Go back to Jordan Love's first year. Didn't look good after we beat the Chiefs and Detroit. And then we go and lose to what? Tampa Bay and Tommy DeVito or Danny DeVito or whoever it is over there. And he rallied the forces, and we had a pretty good little run in the play. One game. Packers get this one done somehow, some way. All of the goofy, fluky stuff is done, and we get it done for one more week, and we'll talk about it again next Tuesday.
Well, Dad, you were questioning whether there was even a game played this past week.
Was there a game? I forgot about the game.
I can't focus on any of these games in the future because all I can think about is the River Falls Falcons playing for a national championship here down in Canton, Ohio. Yeah. I got the Falcons. Give me the Falcons this week. Well, they got a break. We'll get them through the holidays, and they'll play on the 4th down Sunday night there. But it's tough for me to focus.
Falcons, Freddie the Falcon. Here we go. Number 1, national champ.
There we go. It's tough for me to focus on the Packers here. I'm just elated at what the Falcons have been doing over there. But I guess, the closest we can do is pick the Wisconsin team here. So give me the Packers. You guys look good in black. You can pull that off. But I think we need some green and yellow for the rest of the way here. And Schmitty, what do you have for the Packers Corner Faithful? Maybe a note of optimism if you're going to put that hat on. Can you find it in yourself to do that?
Of course I can, Griffey. It's the Christmas season. We're in the Christmas spirit. I got a Christmas tree up, shining. I'm singing outside Christmas carols, okay? Trust me, I got my 4 fingers in one hand and my shovel in the other, and I'm fa-la-lying around here. And so this is a time to just thank all of the Packers Corners listeners that have been throughout the season with us. Or Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you for deciding to spend 30 minutes with us each and every week. It's very kind of you. Are we Vikings fans for one day on Thursday? We're gonna rally up and then And then,
Give me number 12 in purple. I want it.
Come on. Yeah, give me Brosmer, baby, okay? Thankful for all of you, the listeners. Thankful for my co-host here. Merry Christmas, everyone. The Packers, find a way. Find a way. Don't rely on anyone else but yourselves. Find a way to win a game in prime time Saturday night, and then we're singing a little bit different tune. I'm not wearing a shirt maybe next week.
We can all hope for that. Dad, do you have a Christmas cheese for us here?
I want to see Schmitty with no shirt and all kind of green and gold chest paint all over.
Green chest paint?
That big,
little gold, huh? Little gold where you think it should be?
Yeah. Let's not get too much detail, but this is a piece of cheese here that's a Roquefort. You know about Roquefort cheese? It's sharp and tangy with a creamy texture. Our offense is going to be creamy, smooth, highly efficient, and our defense is going to be sharp and tangy. Xavier McKinney's going to catch a ball for a change. Keyshawn Nixon and Hobbs are going to know where to line up when they're running a crossing route, for Pete's sakes, and they're going to switch to coverage. And we're going to get it done, and then we'll come back here next week, and we will see Schmitty paint his chest in person right here on the Packers Corner, and we'll have a whole different outlook. And our faithful listeners, may the good Lord bless you and your families as we celebrate the Lord's birthday. Merry Christmas to all. and to all a good night.
Love you.